What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So while I was sitting here making kits, I was thinking, well, let's try something different. Try a different view. I'm not big on the camera, but I know some people like to see your face sometimes. But just so you guys understand, wire means everything on a trailer. And I mean, whether it's your machine, whether it's your soft wash system, your pressure washer, your LEDs, it doesn't matter what it is. Whether you're putting a sound system in, everything has ratings, and you have to supply the wire for the machine that's asking for what it needs. So, as a builder, no matter what I'm building, whether it's a sound system, uh, a 12-volt system, a 24-volt system, 12-volt, 24, right? Doesn't matter. You still have to run your numbers. And the way you build is you take the product, and that's where you start your build from. Because you got to know what the pump is asking you for, right? You can't just run 10 gauge wire all the way to a pump. That's why everything fails. Because if you run your wire, people say, well, it's rated for 30 amps, 10 gauge. Yeah, you're right. It spikes at 40. So, but you're forgetting there's distance, there's power and ground. And if you're running 10 feet of wire, that's 20 feet of wire, not 10 feet. And when you run it in the calculator, it's on the website I built you guys so you can learn, it will never show you 10 gauge is okay. And you want a 1% drop. Why? A 1% drop is you want, and this is for the soft wash, right? Because whatever you see at the battery, you want the pump to see. So, say for instance, and I use this as an example, I've showed you the proof over and over and over. There's millions of videos that I put up for you. If you ran 10 feet of wire, 20 feet total, positive and negative, from the battery, if the battery is reading 12.8, right? And you ran it through the 10 gauge wire to the pump would only see on the load when you're creating the surges and so on and so forth. That's going to be about a 5% plus drop. You don't want that because the more you lose at the pump, the slower the pump spins. So if you're at 12.8, and I showed you on this machine right here, that every 0.1 matters. You hear the pump turn up, turn up. The higher I go, the more the pump is screaming and screaming and screaming. And why do you think half of these guys don't use down steps on their bucket sprayers? They're feeding the pump 20 volts. I don't know how long that lasts, but they say it works great. If it works for them, amazing. Keep doing it. Don't hate on somebody's what works for them, because we all live in different areas, and wire is the same way. Wire works different in certain areas. The heat, the cold, so on and so forth. You gotta use different gauges. You can't use the same gauge. This is knowledge, right? So when you turn the key on a GX390, 690, it acts for about 100 to 150 amps that it will take just to get it to turn over, right? So do you really think you could put 6 gauge wire on that? No. You really need to be putting 4, and if you're running positive and negative, you might want to go to 2. It's just like your vehicle. It's got thick wire on the battery. Why? Because it needs it for the power when you start. It's not after it starts. It's for it to start. It needs all the power you got stored to be able to transfer to the motor, to turn that motor with all the power you have. Same thing with soft wash pump, pressure washer, your car, your lawnmower. I mean, your four-wheeler. I mean, it could be a side-by-side. I could go on and on. It's all the same. If you went out to your car and you turned it on, turned it off, turned it on, turned it off, turned it on, turned it off, turned it on, go feel a power wire and negative wire. I guarantee it's hot. Why? Because you created all them surges. Same thing you're doing in the pumps. So Yes, I say relays go bad. Yes, I say micro switches go bad all the time. Why? Because the only relays you find are on the 7 gallons. You find no relays on the 5 gallons. So, depending on what I'm talking about, depends on if it's a relay that burnt up or a micro switch that burnt up. Depends on the system, if it has it, if it doesn't. So, if it doesn't, they're going to burn the micro switch. If they have a relay, they'll burn the relay first, and that will help them. So, they just fix the relay and they're pretty much back up and running, right? Another thing, swivels. You have to check your swivels. A lot of calls, a lot of a lot of messages on swivels. You know, if you run thin wire, it may work now, but you're building commercial, right? Commercial means that you're building something that doesn't need to be babysat. I don't have to change wire. I don't have to do this. I don't have to change fittings. I don't have to do that, right? So when you're building, don't build cheap either. You know, stainless steel goes really far when you're trying to take a machine apart. If somebody used galvanized and that SH is everywhere, it's a pain to get it apart. So spend an extra couple bucks and use the stainless steel. This is an investment. This isn't a hobby, right? You're professionals. So if you also, your connections, like all the connections I use, everything is tinted. Why? Because it's protected from the SH. Why do you think they use marine tinted, all that on saltwater boats? To protect it from the salt. What is chlorine made of? Salt. See? There's a reason why I do things and why I build the way I build. So you have to run your numbers. You have to make sure everything is correct. Because if you don't, guys and girls, you're just going to waste your money out here. And then you're going to hate it. You're going to quit. But you cheated yourself. So you don't put the work in. I even tell the locals, if you come over and you're just here to chill and for me to do all the work, you go home. I'm not here to do the work. I'm here to pass my knowledge over. I'm here to teach you how to do things so you don't have to rely, like you're on a job on a weekend and your machine goes down or your soft wash goes down. You can't depend on running to somebody every minute something breaks down. You've got to be able to use a voltmeter. You've got to be able to find where the problem is. I mean, if it's a fuse, if it's a pump, okay, boom, it's a pump issue. Switch it out. You have to be able to work on this equipment, especially out here with electrical, gas, AR-45s, P-40s. They all need maintenance. I've seen them in the field. The P-40, AR-45s, they're a headache too. Everything's a headache. I don't care what you say. I've seen them in my driveway, and I've been doing this now since 2012. So I've been in this game a long time. I've been around. So when people say something, we're in Florida. So we watch 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's nothing. We know what our machines could do and how they'll run, you know, and so on and so forth. So when we say we beat our stuff to death, we really do, because we wear them out. People complain about pumps. Oh, they only last me a year. It's only $200, and some of you guys use Vivos, and they're $50, and they're amazing pumps. Like I told you, I could take any pump if you set it up right, the correct J-rod tips, not these soft wash guns. If you're not using the right orifice, guys, you will kill your pump, you will kill your back pressure, you will kill the system, you will kill your distance. You have to have everything right. You have to have the battery right, you have to have the wire right, you have to have the switches right, you have to have the breaker right, you have to have the voltage drop right. And people say, oh, that's a lot of work. No, it's called being a professional. What do you mean it's a lot of work? Oh, that's a lot of work. What do you mean? I don't understand. If you're building it to spec, it's not a lot of work. You run the numbers and you build like this. I don't see where it's a lot of work. You just got to put the numbers in. It tells you what to do. So I'm just trying to make you guys and girls better. Enjoy it while I'm here, you know. Your swivels clog up. A lot of you guys don't check swivels. It will affect your downstreaming as well. Me and a buddy were just talking about it. And I even said to him, "Hey, did you check your swivels?" He's like, "No, I didn't check my swivel." He messaged me back. He's like, "Dude, my downstream because of my swivel." So I try to tell you guys, we're knowledgeable. A lot of us out here are knowledgeable. We're not talkers. We know what we're talking about. Both keys I seen on machines, not on one trailer, but a couple of trailers. This is the worst thing to do. If you're in a parking lot and you have to use the restroom or something, and you get some jack butt that comes up and steals both of your keys, and you go to a job, now you're out of keys. Take one of your keys off, 550 cord it, metal band it, whatever you want to do, and tie it to the machine, right? And then the secondary key, put in your glove box, because say somebody does cut your key, you still have a key to go to work. Idle down your machines. Another thing I see religiously. Everybody that pulls up, I notice everything. As soon as you pull up, I'm looking. I'm like, yep. I'm like, you got to idle these machines down. You just don't want to shut the machines off and everything just shuts off. You didn't even idle anything down. You didn't bring the machine down, let it idle for a minute, and then shut it off. Let's see. Wires, the biggest thing for wire is the travel. Same thing I teach you, you hang a ceiling fan in the house. That ceiling fan has thin wire. Your house that you're hooking it to is thick wire. So when people say, "Hey, but the pump has 12 gauge," has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with the install. It's the travel from the bus bar, which is what I do, right? To make your install so much easier. And then to the switch, breaker, and then to the battery, right? I already ran your numbers. I did all the hard work. If you run a 17 pump on here, oh man, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? You run a Remco, it's amazing. You can see all the feedback. I didn't do this to make money. Trust me. I did this to put it in your face because a lot of people kept talking. So I put it in your face to show you it works. And I didn't want to do it. I got tons of videos. I don't need to show you any videos. I got millions of videos. But I want you to see it. And you see all the feedback. The feedback's great. I'm not here to clap my back. I'm here to be the messenger to make you guys better so we could all be better, enjoy equipment. I mean, you have all these amazing systems out there. Can you always make it better? Of course you can. Do you make comments before you figure out what the reason is? Just like somebody likes to make a comment about my ball valve. What do you got a ball valve on here for? Well, let me pass more knowledge to you. If you're on a roof and you're spraying a roof and your gun breaks and it's stuck on open and you can't get the gun to shut off, is my ball valve that stupid now? Nope. Why? Because I could finish the job just by using ball valve. It's that simple, guys. Before you make comments, you got to think, what else is he using for? And remember, there's always a reason why I do something. I just don't do it because somebody else does it. I do it because it benefits me, my speed, my quality of work, or anything plus, that I could do to make my life easier. Just like people like to make comments about the cheap downstream with the on and off ball valve. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're just doing residential, nothing wrong with it. Now, when you get into commercial, you're going to lose some distance and you're going to lose, so on and so forth. But you use what works for you and don't worry about what anybody else says. If it works for you, that's all that matters. You're paying the bills, you're eating at home, you're feeding your kids, the lights on, you got a roof over your head. At the end of the day, bills are paid. So, and everybody can say it doesn't work. The proof is, though, orifices. Your orifice will always fit the machine. The degree is up to the owner. So the people that say, no, 2540, you must use that. 25 is up to the owner, how they like to spray. 15 degree, 25, 40, 30, whatever you want to use, right? Now the orifice you can't change. That you cannot change. The machine's going to tell you what you want, right? So the super pump, I got informed today that it got updated. They fixed the leaks. I don't know anything from there on. The super pump's very powerful. I mean, it was powerful. Speaking about super pump, some of you guys that are running 24 volts, right? If you're going to run 24 volts, you don't run two 12-volt batteries. And here's why. You lose the 100 amp that you think you're getting. You don't get that. So you're like, oh, I got 200 amp hours for two batteries. Not when you go 12 to make 24 in series. It doesn't work that way. You lose the 100. You're only getting 100 because what you're doing is you're actually cheating. You're taking two 12s and making a 24 versus buying a 24 and putting another 24 for storage, power, backup, more spray time, so on and so forth. But that's what I'm saying is, like, there's comments even on my page. They don't make 24 volt batteries. What? What are you talking about? They've been making 24 volt batteries forever. Trucks are 24 volts. I have been working on 24 volt trucks for a long time. They've been making them. So that's what I mean. There's a lot of people out here. You got to watch the answers and you got to do your own research. But if the proof is there, there's no research to do because they're showing you everything. That's like I give you the calculator. Hey, go run your numbers. You buy my kit, I already ran the numbers. So my kits are already set up. You want to keep everything close. Another thing, this is 17 minutes long so far. Another thing, if you guys have your machine on one side of the world on the trailer and your pump is all the way on the other side of the world and you have two batteries, take the secondary battery that's next to the machine up front and relocate it to the back under the pump. So then when you're hitting it, you're getting the load off the battery, right? The amps off the battery versus it traveling all the way across the trailer, then to the pump. So go battery, jumper cables, like I tell you guys as a joke. Some of you guys are better off using jumper cables. Just cut the ends off, put ring terminals, and your pumps will wake up. I said it as a joke a long time ago. I wasn't kidding when I said it. But that's what you could do. You could take that 4 gauge, strap your batteries from the front to the back, put the battery underneath the pump, which will give, you won't have to worry about it, the travel from the other battery all the way across the world to come feed your pump. So you have the secondary battery in the back, and every time it hits, it's right there. So you don't need the thick wire. See what I mean? It's all about the design on the build. You'll need the thick wire from the battery to the back of the battery, but you won't need that super thick. You want thick wire from the pump to the battery so it still has room to cool off from coming on and off the gun. But you won't need 4 gauge all the way to the pump per se. I think that's right. Holy crap, that's a long video. But I think I covered everything. I'll watch it, see what it says, and if I like it, I'll upload it. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.